Oh, I think he's grown exponentially. He's each week he's getting better and better. From that game on, I mean, it's just he's been a leader for us. He's been a guy that's been vocal, trying to get us right. And I feel like him growing each week to week is just going to keep us going. And I feel like he's at his point to where he can lead this team and get into a victory.
What's he like in the huddle? How would you describe him?
I mean, he's just he's another football player. He's vocal. He's a guy that can keep us going. Like he comes in, he's like, let's keep going. But I feel like he's just a guy that's going to be a leader for us. So he can stay a leader.
How much confidence does it give an offense when you have a guy who can make a 60-yard throw or rip off a 60-yard run?
Oh, he makes us look good sometimes. It's just I feel like him being the athlete like that, he makes plays when we mess up. So it's like if we have a guy back there to move around and run, it's just we can be subpar when he's on his best.
Being from Jacksonville, what does this game kind of mean to you? Have you ever played in that stadium before or no?
No, but I've been to multiple games. This is going to mean the world to me. I have a bunch of family coming, friends coming. They're all going to be behind me, supporting me, so I'm excited.
You're coming off a very disappointing loss, and you had an off week. How did you get the confidence back up in the whole team during the off week, or did it take a lot?
I don't think it took a lot. I feel like we're a team where we take a loss and build from it and grow on it. And if we've had a week, this is probably one of our best weeks of practice, which we need to go against #1 team in the nation. And I feel like we're just growing and growing.
So you said you've been to games, Florida, Georgia games, yeah. Jaguar games, or what?
Yeah, I've been to a couple of Jags games. I've been to a couple of Florida, Georgia games. I was a kid when my parents and them tailgated out there, so it was cool to see that.
Which games?
I don't have I was younger.
You don't have a memory of a Florida Georgia?
I was
game?
a younger kid. I don't have good memory.
Do you have a memory of the atmosphere, what it was like your first one? Or
I see it on TV and I've been there before. It's loud. It's half and half, which is exciting. It's cool to see.
How many pressures does Georgia run relative to other teams? I mean, did that extra week really help out when you get ready for a team like this?
Yeah, of course. They're number one. They have probably one of the best defenses in the SEC, and they pressure. I think every team does, and I feel like we just prepare like it's everyone pressures. We've seen pressures like this before, and I feel like we're prepared pretty well.
You get to practice against Brenton Cox. We just talked to him. What's he like behind the scenes? He seems like a pretty funny guy.
Yeah, he's fun to go against. We laugh after plays and stuff like that, but it's good work. And guy going up against a guy like that, he's been playing in this league for a while, and it just gives me the confidence. If I block him, I can block anybody.
What's been the key to pass protection this year for you guys? You guys are pretty good in terms of not giving up sacks and so forth.
Yeah, I think it's just being on point with our communication and our fundamentals. When we're all on the same page, I think we're pretty good in the pass game.
The offensive line has struggled for a good while here. It might be the strength of this team this year. What's been the difference, you think?
Just everyone buying into the new coaching staff and stuff like that, because they put an emphasis on running the ball, having this being the best group we can be. And I feel like we've all bought in, every single one of us in that room, to be the best we can be.
This two offensive line coach strategy that Billy says he says it's the only one in the country that does it. We've asked about it before, but how do you think it's played out, and what's maybe one thing you'd identify as a benefit to it?
I feel like, I think it's helped out a lot. You got two different points of who you can talk to and when you want to talk to somebody, because there's some guy getting in your tail about you doing wrong, but you can go to the other guy and be like, hey, how can I fix it? And it's like a yin-yang kind of thing.
What does it mean to have Osiris back?
Oh, it means the world. He's a good player. You see all the accolades he gets, and it just gives us the confidence that he's coming back. He's a good ball player, and when he's in, I think we play at our best.
Do you know anybody on the Georgia team? Did you ever run across Carson back?
Jaheim Singletary, the corner. I played him in high school. He played at Lee. I think we were both in the same class, or he was a class below me. But me and him played against each other.
You're obviously on the different side of the ball, but
yeah.
Based on what we've been told, it sounds like Kamari Wilson had a really great 2 weeks of practice last couple weeks. What has stood out to you, maybe?
It's hard for me to see like the DBs and stuff like that, but I've definitely been hearing that he's having good practices and stuff like that. And I see him going in, hitting people, making plays in practice, which gives me the confidence that he can go out there and play.
You said it was the best week of practice you guys have had. What was different about the practice that made it that much better?
I think it's us knowing that we came off a loss, and the 2 weeks we've had is just. I think it's given us some more confidence. We have more time to prepare, more time to, just build on watching film on these guys. And, I think our energy and our level and how we practice, I think has been our best.
there's not a lot of Jacksonville guys on the
Yeah.
roster, I don't think. He was just saying 5. What's it mean, do you think, Billy, kind of staking some ground over there, recruiting? I'm sure you've seen a few
Oh, yeah.
guys, and, you know, in state in
Yeah.
general, but Jacksonville in particular.
You know, I feel like Jacksonville has some of the best recruits. You know, I played there. You got Berg, and then now we got a bunch of guys that are coming in: Marcus Stokes, Trayon Webb, Big Rod. And I feel like we established that we can recruit in Jacksonville, and I think it gives us confidence that more guys want to come from that area and play here.
A lot of people have talked about Billy's recruiting in this building. What do you think this building's going to mean to recruits when they come through here?
I think it's going to mean, you know, I think it's going to be a really big selling point for guys. You know, it's a new facility. There's bigger and better things here compared to our old one. You know, it's just the locker room looks better, everything looks better, and I feel like that's more of like a sexy appeal for guys to see it.
What's your favorite part of the new building? What's been the biggest improvement?
I like the training room a lot. You know, we got the float tanks, got the sauna, and I like the hot tub, cold tub aspect of it. That's my favorite.
Not the food?
No, that's a given. That's a given.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a given.
Zero gravity?
Yeah, that's, you know, our lockers have like the zero, kind of like a zero gravity lay down section. That's nice. And then like the float tank, that's helped me out a lot. You know, you're literally laying like a water bed, and they say like 30 minutes is equivalent to like 5 hours, and I feel like that's helped me out a lot.
Do you take naps on your chair?
A little bit. I try not to. You know, when I'm here, I try to focus in on stuff like that. But, you know, I try not to stay here a lot because we're always in here. But I like it here. Yeah.
Hard not to.
Yeah.
Got time for a couple more questions, guys. How do you think your success, you know, getting on the field and kind of excelling this season can help recruits that are on the offensive line kind of want to come here? You know, seeing that you've kind of carved that path.
Yeah. You know, I think it gives them like the confidence that they can play, you know, if they're doing good. Because for a while it seemed like young guys never played O-line, but now you see a redshirt freshman coming in and playing, gives them the confidence like, hey, I actually can have a chance to play and not sit 2 or 3 years behind someone, regardless of the age. So
You guys are going in as a heavy underdog, top-ranked team, reigning national champions. Do you look at it as a chance to like play spoiler? You know that expression, spoiler.
yeah, you know, I always feel like we have a chance in every single game, and regardless of the whatever how far we're down points wise, it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. We're playing in mutual spot, and you know, anything can happen.
Is that motivating though?
Oh, yeah.
To be able, I mean, you guys could really kind of throw a wet towel on their season here.
Oh yeah, you know, I would love to do that. You know, I'm not a big Georgia fan myself, but it'd be great to have that. You know, it's just I feel like we can. We just gotta hone in on it.
It's a good thing you're not a Georgia fan.
Yeah.
When they're young.
Never like Georgia. Never.
Richie played well last week, but
Yeah.
how big was it, or big is it to get Osiris back?
You know, Richie played a phenomenal game. You know, me and him play next to each other a ton, and I feel like, you know, Osiris is coming back. He's a great player, but I feel like Richie is able to come in and play at a high level as well. But you know, it's great to have him coming back. He's been in this offense for 4 years. He knows the ins and outs of it, and he's just a guy that's like kind of like a leader on our line too. He might not be as vocal, but you know when he's doing something right, people follow.
How much did he help you when you were thrust into a starting role?
Oh, a ton. Me and him have watched film together, and we kind of got on the same page for some things, and I think that's helped me out a lot with, you know, coming on the field, playing 3 snaps last season to God knows how many I played now.
More.
But, yeah, way more than 3, of course. But
He said he was going to do some Cajun food during the off week. Did he do that?
no, I didn't know about that. He did not. I'm kind of upset because he's from there, and I feel like he can cook that, but he did not. Maybe he didn't tell me.
Unrest.
Any more, guys?
Thanks.
What's your motivation like going against such an elite defensive line like Georgia?
You know, their defensive line is very good. They got some really good players, and I feel like if it gives me the motivation, if I can block them, I can block anybody. You know, I go against Brandon Cox all the time, and I think he's one of the best pass rushers in our league. And I feel like if I go against him, I can go against anybody. And I think having that playing against our D line, which has some dogs, I feel like gives me the confidence playing against them.
We'll end with
this-
Edgar right here.
Yeah, this 1-2 punch of ETN and Montreal has been pretty explosive.
Yeah.
What kind of advantage did that give you in a game like this? And I assume, I'm sure you guys will be looking to establish them.
Yeah, you know, it gives us the 1-2 punch. It's like one guy comes in, rushes 50 yards, and you got another guy that's a completely different back. And it's just like one guy gets tired, another guy can come in. It's not a workhorse guy that we only have one. both of them come in and play very well. So
All right, man.
yeah.